Hello and welcome to TL's Garage, where today we are working on my four-wheeler. So this is my 1984 Honda Fourtrax. I've had this for a few months now, and the brakes don't work, the tires are shit, it still needs an oil change, it's been beat on, and the chain tension is ass. So what are we going to fix today? Mainly the front brakes, because those really need to be adjusted, especially since they're hydraulic and there's no pressure in that. So we will attempt to bleed that by myself. Is this going to go well? No idea. But we'll find out. The main thing is we're going to start with bleeding them first, and then we are going to adjust the drums, because it's drums up front and then it's cable drums in the back, and we'll see what happens. Alignment is also absolutely shit. We've got toe in a little bit there, and we've got toe out a little bit on the passenger side. Yeah, you think it needs some air? We'll bust this cotter pin out real quick. That I've only done a handful of times. That's the bottom end of it. I really need to put a new one in here, but I'm not going to. I might be able to get it out like that. There we are. No, that castle nut does not have anything to do with wheel bearings. I know I said I was going to bleed them first, but I also really don't think that these are even contacting. Yeah, we'll bleed them. Alright, so to bleed them, it's going to be a really fun process, because I have to not only, one, find where the hell the bleeder is. Oh, it's all the way on the back. So, right here is my bleeder valve for the wheel cylinder that is inside the drum. So I have to not only crack that when I'm holding the lever, but I also have to make sure the fluid's even coming out. Alright, so right now I have the bleeder cracked, just to let it kind of gravity bleed a little bit, and also to make sure that fluid's even coming out. We're now going to loosen it a little bit more. Get some fluid rotating out of that. After squeezing it, we do have fluid coming out. Now I need to top off the master cylinder, which this fluid looks like garbage. Alright, so my method is 5 pumps and then holding. So that's what we're about to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and holding. A little bit of air. Alright, so that side does have pressure, I can feel it. So we got the driver's side bled, I think. We'll find out in a little bit. But now I'm going to do the passenger side. I'm going to do that off camera. That way I don't have to set it up and all that stuff. And then we'll see if it's any better. If it's not, then that's when we'll adjust the drums and we'll re-bleed again. Or it's just going to take a lot of bleeding. But we'll see. So pretty much what happened now is the microphone got unplugged from the camera, so now you're about to see me take the drum off and try to adjust the shoes to see if that makes the brakes feel any better at all. So now that we have our drum off, we can kind of look at our brake system a little bit more. We have shoes and pads and a wheel cylinder. And that's what I'm doing right now, is looking over everything and seeing if everything is how it should be, make sure everything's moving. And now that I've confirmed that it is, I'm going to take my screwdriver and I'm going to move my adjusters to see if that will, 1, push the brake shoes out, and 2, if that makes it feel any better. And the reason you see me like bumping it or making it seem like I'm using a hammer is because they were pretty stiff. Now, that could probably mean that the springs are rusted pretty badly, or that the adjuster itself could also be going out, but I didn't take it apart to find out. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting the drum back on to feel if the shoes have adjusted out, because once you have them set properly, you should feel light drag on the drum, which in this case I do not. So I go ahead and readjust them some more. And now you see me put the drum back on, and as you can see, it's a little bit harder to put on because of how much more the shoes have been adjusted compared to the last time, which in this case is good. And I have to beat it on with a hammer, which again is okay. Now, it could probably be a little bit better in the long run, but in this case, I just want the brakes to work. So now we've reached the passenger side, and we're about to do the same thing. We're gonna adjust the adjuster for the brake shoes, except this time I'm not pulling the drum off, and instead I'm gonna go through the little cover port that you just saw me take off there, which then I have to spin around in order to get where the adjuster is, and then that way I can feel around for the screwdriver and adjust them outwards. And I'm not gonna bore you with watching all that, so I'm gonna speed it up and then we'll get to the next part. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the wheels back on. We're gonna see how it does, see if they lock up, which is what I want. And if not, we'll try bleeding them a little bit more. And if that doesn't work, then that's probably just as good as we're gonna get. Got it running, we've got the tires on, we've got the brakes adjusted. So now, it's time to see how they actually perform. So let's go do that. Already off to a pretty bad start. Not the best is the end result. They work a hell of a lot better than they did before, but they still suck. They're probably the original 40-year-old or some brakes that are on here. I don't know if they've ever changed. But they will definitely help me slow down better than they did before with no brake pressure and no adjustment. So now, let's jack it back up and let's adjust the toe. So right in there are my toe adjustments. That's what this bar all the way back here does. It's kind of hard to see with the brake line. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this is centered. There's going to be a little bit of play in it, but that's normal. So with it straight, we can see this tire goes in a little bit, and this tire is relatively straight. So basically, it doesn't help that the camber is so awful on here, which it probably needs new control arms anyway. So with the bars straight, that wheel looks straightest. This one looks to be having a little bit of toe in, at least from the back side. From the front side, you can't really tell the difference. It doesn't help that this wheel has so much camber, but it could be because a control arm is bent somewhere, or the frame's bent. I actually think we're gonna leave the alignment the way it is. Let's pull off the back side and let's look at the back, because that's something I haven't done yet. All that popping you just heard is from my... Oh, all that popping you... Damn. All that popping that you just heard is from my wonderful chain tension on my wonderful sprocket. As you can see, it's not that good. We're gonna try to adjust it. It's probably not gonna adjust at all. Yeah, how you like my wheel chock? We love how it's still rolling slightly. Way down in there, right there, is my chain tensioner. And it doesn't appear to be that there is a nut on there. Which, if that's the case, then we can't do anything. But I have to clean the dirt off in order to be able to find out. And there is no nut. Oh, that's another reason why it rides so horribly. The nut. It's loose. No way. That's hilarious. Let me move the jack point. Alright, now with it even less sturdy. I mean, it's all loose. That's unbelievable. Right in here is my adjustment. And if you have a keen eye, you'll see I'm missing something that the other side has. And on top of missing all of this, which I just tightened it, yeah, shit's loose. So that explains why it's so jumpy and stuff. But I mean, I can't. Oh yeah, that's real good right there. Yeah, you love that. Oh, you love being able to pull it off a sprocket. Pretty much, I need the nuts to be able to pull the axle out more, which in return will stiffen this chain. But, unfortunately, I don't have the stuff to do that. And you can also see on the little slider in there, that one is slid all the way back. Well shit, so is this one. Right there. And this is all the way back on it. So, that means is I need a new chain and probably, definitely a new sprocket. The sprocket is jagged and sharp and rigid. The exhaust is falling off. It wasn't doing that before. Why are we falling off now? Because the bolt for the hanger has fallen off somewhere. That's good. This is the first time I've really looked at the back side of this. We got some connections for a rear mounted stoplight, I'm pretty sure. On the bright side, the cool thing about this is I still have all of the tools and shit in here. The only thing that, as far as I know, isn't factory on this four-wheeler is the seat, the light bulb that I just put in there, the carburetor that I had to put on, because the old one was a mess. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it for the four-wheeler video. Unfortunately I don't have all the stuff in order to be able to do everything, and I'm in a time crunch today to be able to do stuff. So that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, check out the channel, see some of the other stuff. I am working on motor video part 2. That should hopefully be coming out either 2 weeks from this video or 2 weeks after the next video. but we'll see. It's taken a while because of the way I recorded it and the way I'm trying to edit it. But a little sneak peek. Everything laid out all nice and neatly over there. The crank right there. The motor, it's already been back from the machine shop. It's just sitting, so I don't have parts for it yet. That's the carburetor from the intake, which is down there now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna try and do bi-weekly uploads, and we'll see how that does. We've got bi-weekly uploads and shorts every week. Whether the shorts just be the beautiful truck or whatever we're working on. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one. I'm sorry for the no audio halfway through. Goodbye!